Before MTV turned music into a non-stop visual competition, before image started carrying as much weight as sound, there was a stretch of time when R&B didn't need permission to slow down. Back then, music didn't chase attention. It didn't beg to be noticed. It earned its place by staying with you. Songs lived on late-night radio, the kind of stations that only came alive after midnight. They lived on cassette tapes you recorded off the air, with the DJ talking over the intro, and the song cutting off just before the end. They lived in cars rolling slow through city streets, windows cracked open, dashboard lights glowing soft, the road stretching out like it had nowhere urgent to go. They lived in living rooms where the lights stayed low, where people talked quieter, where a song could play all the way through without anybody rushing to skip it. This was the era when groove mattered more than image, when soul came before spotlight, when a record could change the temperature of a room without ever touching a screen. These are 10 underrated R&B songs from the 1980s, not the obvious classics everyone already agrees on. These are the records that live slightly off to the side, quietly shaping singers, producers, and listeners, while louder moments stole the camera. Let's rewind the tape. Number 1. Before Quiet Storm became a radio category, before it had a name, a time slot, or a marketing strategy, one record showed the world how grown R&B was supposed to sound. Sweet Love by Anita Baker, released in 1986.
Come on, sing it with me, sweet love.
This song doesn't rush you. It doesn't pull you in with force. It waits for you to lean closer. The piano enters gently, almost like it's testing the room. The groove settles in without announcing itself. Nothing demands attention. Everything earns it. Anita Baker sings with the confidence of someone who already knows exactly who she is. There is no chasing notes, no vocal gymnastics, no need to prove range or power. Her voice is calm, assured, grown. Every phrase feels intentional, like she's speaking to one person, not performing for an audience. The brilliance of this record is its restraint. The arrangement never crowds her. The bass walks softly behind the beat. The keys shimmer just enough to catch the light. This song taught singers something that later generations had to relearn. Power doesn't come from volume. Emotion doesn't come from excess. Sometimes the quietest choice is the strongest one. That's why Sweet Love still feels elegant decades later. It wasn't built for flashy videos or quick hit trends. It was built for late nights, long conversations, and moments that don't need witnesses. Number 2, this next one sits deeper in the chest. Tell Me If You Still Care by the SOS Band, released few seconds. The groove settles into a slow, confident stride. The bass line doesn't rush. It moves like it has all the time in the world. The rhythm feels steady but emotional, like it's holding something back. The vocals don't dramatize heartbreak. They don't plead or explain. They ask one honest question and leave the rest in your hands. That's the power of this song. It doesn't tell you how to feel, it gives you space to feel it. This is emotional R&B without theatrics. No big gestures, no forced climaxes, no chasing radio moments. The pain here feels lived in, not performed. You can hear the early blueprint for neo soul hiding inside this record. The way the rhythm breathes, the way the melody leans back instead of pushing forward. Artists in the 90s didn't invent this feeling, they refined it. This song lived in moments. MTV never knew how to film late night thoughts, unfinished conversations, and emotions that don't resolve cleanly. Number 3. Now let's step onto the dance floor before pop completely took it over. A Night to Remember by Shalamar, released a specific way. The groove is tight without being stiff. The beat moves with confidence. The hook lands immediately and stays with you. This is R&B when dancing was about connection, not choreography. Bodies moving naturally, smiles instead of poses. People dancing with each other, not for the camera. Shalamar knew how to make a dance record that didn't sacrifice soul for energy. When this came on in the club, you didn't overthink it. You didn't wait for a drop. You moved, and you moved together. This wasn't about standing out. It was about being part of something. Number 4. This one sounds like city lights at night. Give Me the Night by Benson, released in 1980.
Cause there's music in the air and lots of loving everywhere. So give me the night.
The first bar of the record feels confident without being loud. Jazz sophistication meets R&B warmth with just enough funk to keep it moving forward. Benson's guitar lines glide effortlessly. They don't dominate the song. They decorate it. The rhythm section stays relaxed, never pushing, never dragging. Everything about this record feels balanced. This is grown-up cool. The kind that doesn't age because it was never chasing trends. It's the sound of a late-night drive through a quiet city. Windows down, streetlights passing slowly overhead, thoughts drifting wherever they want to go. A reminder that smooth doesn't mean boring. It means controlled. Number 5. Some voices don't sing songs. They invite you closer. If This World Were Mine by Vandross, released in 1982.
If this world were mine, I would place at your feet.
Luther Vandross sang with patience. He trusted silence. He trusted timing. Every note feels carefully placed. Every pause feels meaningful. This is intimacy in musical form. Not dramatic, not desperate, just honest. Before he became the undisputed king of love songs, this is where his legacy quietly took shape. He showed the world that vulnerability could carry weight, that softness could be powerful, that you didn't have to oversell emotion to make it real. Many singers chased his sound later, but what they were really chasing was his control. This record doesn't shout its importance, it whispers it. Number 6. By the late 80s, the sound begins to shift. Night and Day by Albisha, released in 1988.
I can tell you how I feel about you.
You can hear the future arriving in this song. Classic R&B emotion, wrapped in sleeker, more digital production. The drums snap sharper, the synths shine brighter, the mix feels cleaner, and that falsetto changed the game. This record sits perfectly between eras. One foot in classic soul, the other stepping toward what would soon dominate the 90s. You hear this song, and suddenly the rise of smooth male vocalists makes sense. It wasn't just a hit, it was a signal. Number 7. Some grooves don't fade, they multiply. Outstanding by the Gap Band, released in 1982. This record never disappeared. It simply kept finding new lives. Sampled by producers across decades, flipped into a hip-hop classics. Trusted by DJs who knew exactly what it would do to a crowd. That bass line is undeniable. The hook is universal. The rhythm still feels alive every time it plays. This isn't nostalgia, it's durability. When a song lasts this long, it's because it was built with intention, with musicianship, with groove at the center. Number 8. This one belongs to quiet moments. Don't Stop the Love by Renee and Angel, released in 1981.
You don't have to cry.
This song doesn't rush anything. The chords feel warm and familiar. The melody unfolds slowly. Nothing pushes too hard. It sounds like a long drive with no destination, just motion and thought. There's no pressure here. No grand statement. No attempt to impress. Just sincerity. This kind of R&B doesn't chase trends. It waits patiently for listeners who are ready to slow down. Number 9. If hip-hop shaped your ears, this song shaped hip-hop. Between the Sheets by the Isley brothers, released in 1983.
All laying next to me, sharing our love between the sheets.
This track became a producer's favorite playground. Sampled, looped, reimagined, but the original still hits differently. Smooth without being slick. Seductive without being loud. The arrangement is flawless. Every instrument knows its role. This record didn't just influence R&B, it became part of hip-hop's genetic code. You can hear its shadow in countless tracks that followed. Number 10. Let's close with joy. Rocksteady by The Whispers, released in 1987. This record smiles when it plays. The groove is confident. The rhythm is tight. The chorus lifts the room. It proves something simple and important. You don't need spectacle to make people move. You need balance. You need rhythm. You need heart. And this record has all three. So why were these songs underrated? Because MTV rewarded image over intimacy, flash over feel, spectacle over musicianship. While cameras chased big visuals and instant moments, these records stayed grounded in songwriting, groove, and emotion. They built the foundation quietly. They taught singers how to use space. They taught producers how to let a track breathe. They taught listeners how to feel music instead of watching it. That influence never disappeared. It just moved underground, waiting to be rediscovered, waiting to be sampled, waiting to be appreciated again. If you want to hear these songs the right way, don't rush them. Let the intro play. Let the groove settle. Give the record time to open up. These aren't highlights. They're experiences. Put one on tonight. Turn the lights down. Let the room slow its pace. Some music isn't meant to shout. It's meant to stay, and once it gets in, it never really leaves.